What is up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of V-Talks. Today, I just got a little bit to talk about as far as like my life situation goes and whatnot. I have been applying to quite a few different places to stay. I've been trying to change my location as far as like where I live, and it's been a very interesting experience to say the least. I've learned that when you're applying for apartments, some of the things to look at is they want you to make a certain amount of money, and this isn't going to apply to any of the younger people watching this channel, but they want you to make a certain amount of money. This is all new to me because this is different stuff. So the people you're applying to, as far as an apartment goes, they want you to make at least usually double, if not 2.5 times the amount that the rent is worth. Now, I find that very interesting, especially due to all this COVID stuff, all of the sickness and the plague going around. Being able to afford a place like that, so being able to afford a place that's $1,000 a month, they expect someone to make $2,500 as a single individual. I find it very harrowing, to say the least. Currently, in this society that we have, it almost seems unreasonable to expect somebody to make so much money as, a single entity. It's bizarre to me now that I'm going out and experiencing more of the adult world that it's almost, I wouldn't say it's impossible because a lot of people can do it, but it is damn near impossible to kind of live on your own. I feel like America at one point in time used to rely, households used to rely on a provider for the family. Back in the 50s, it was the man went home and he was able to provide for his family, and the wife just stayed home and took care of the kids and whatever. It is definitely not so much the case nowadays, obviously, for what most of us have seen, but it is very different now that if someone is to make it out into the real world on their own, they have to do fairly well for themselves. I am not one of those individuals who is doing especially well. I make some money here and there going to school and stuff, and I am able to finagle a studio for myself, hopefully. I'll find out tomorrow, actually, as of recording this audio. But hopefully I am deemed worthy of this. And the reason I'm talking about this sort of thing is because I feel like it's a topic that's perhaps not talked about right now, but it's so important for people to understand where we're at as a country, and I'm speaking about America. I really have no idea what other places are like, but it's so important that we understand that to make it out in the real world by yourself, you've got to make some decent cash. You got to make some money. And it's baffling almost that, somebody would expect someone like me to make $2,500 a month when I'm going to school half the time. And even if I had a part-time job, I'd only be making about, I want to say about $2,000 to $2,100 a month with the additional money that I get from school. And that's me being, kind of reasonable. That's me being generous with how much I make. And with a lot of jobs going away, with another lockdown on the horizon, I feel like it's going to be increasingly more difficult to live on your own, let alone, with somebody else, because once you start living with other people, you have the complications that comes with that. But I'm just speaking about people who are trying to live by themselves, because this is my particular situation. I find it interesting that it's kind of expected for people to work two part-time jobs to be able to make it by. When did we become a society that requires, somebody to work two jobs just to, survive, just to scrape by? Not to really complain about it, because yeah, life's hard and that's just the way it's going to be at the moment. But you would expect that if somebody were to live in a studio apartment for, $800-900 a month, that they would be able to, afford that reasonably. But even in these times, that's almost like a difficult task, or it's almost too much to ask of how much we're like able to work. I can only imagine what it's like for families with multiple kids who need to feed and do all that stuff. Finding a job is not easy. I've had a couple interviews, and one of them is set for a job that I'd be getting in the summer, and it's quite a distance. It's kind of like really far out there. I can rely on that reasonably to make some money down the road, but for what I'm dealing with right now, I have another interview doing photography, actually, for I think it's a school. So they wanted a amateur photographer for, I'm going to assume it's taking pictures of, kids and stuff like that, and making up a school yearbook and all that good stuff that adds to my graphic design background. But even a job like that isn't like really guaranteed to pay very many bills, especially down the road with all the schools shutting down and everything. The pandemic has made it very difficult, to say the least, and I've really only got to wonder how long a cure is reasonably expected to take as far as like being made. And then once it's made, how expensive is it going to be, and how available is it going to be? All that stuff is really things that nobody can 100% answer with accuracy. But I don't know. I feel like it's an issue that everybody's dealing with at the same time, and not something that everyone is acknowledging. It is really important for everyone to understand that things are expensive now. I don't know. I can't go anywhere. I can't even get a drink at a bar and some mozzarella sticks without it being almost $20, So things have gotten so expensive, but it's not like everywhere hires and pays $15 an hour to supplement how much that's worth. Most places around where I live anyways, you're getting a good deal if you're getting $10 an hour, unless you're working warehouse, of course. And not everybody can just work a warehouse job. So I don't know. I think if we are to reasonably expect the virus to go away and kind of like start to fix this scenario that we all have for ourselves, they say everybody's got to stay home and everybody's got to avoid getting sick, because I guess that's like going to mutate the virus more. So even if there was a cure in sight, the virus would just end up growing beyond that. So I guess it's just really, you just gotta stay home. For as much as I hate it, because I gotta find a way to make a living, and staying home isn't paying the bills, and I understand. But regardless of all that, we really do just kind of have to stick to hanging out at the house until we at least stem the tide, because it is really out of control. I don't know, it's just something that has, no pun intended here, plagued my existence with needing to find a place to stay and having a job to afford a place to stay. The virus definitely hasn't made any of that easy. So other than that, it is just me sharing some thoughts on all that stuff while I just share this drawing. So yeah, hope you guys like the video. Like, subscribe. I should be, if I am accepted into my new studio, I should be able to make more videos more frequently, and I'm really looking forward to that. So if YouTube could become my primary source of income, then I'd be making videos like this every single day. Trust and believe. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you around.